a situation in most of the institutions, especially of higher learning, students feel that the classes are not exciting. And teachers feel that the students are not interested. And why are we running the whole show of higher education? If there is no restriction of 75% attendance, I hope it is 75%, if the restriction is not there, we find it very difficult to get the students into the classrooms. Why is that? We opted to go for higher education, we want to learn better, equip ourselves to face the challenges of life, but we are not interested in the classes. What could be the reason? We know that the world is moving so fast, world is changing so fast. Somebody did some research. What is the rate of change of society in the last 2000 years? They asked a question, what is the midpoint between 0 and 2000 years? Mathematically it is 1000 years. They found sociologically the midpoint is 1900. That means whatever happened in the last 100 years is comparable to what happened in the previous 1900 years. Then they asked the next question, what is the midpoint between 1900 and 2000? I was willing to accept 1965, but I was shell shocked to see the midpoint was considered to be 1992. That means what happened in the last 8 years of the previous century is comparable to what happened in the previous 92 years. If somebody were to do research today, what is the midpoint between 2000 and November 2022? Probably the answer would be January 2022. The rate at which the world is changing is enormous. And now as a teacher, I stand there, students belong to that racing, fast-moving generation. And they feel that the classes are so slow and monotonous. And we feel that the students are too fast. What is the solution for all this? The solution is supposed to be what you call creative teaching. What is creative teaching? People ask me, teaching itself is creative. What is so creative teaching? Creative teaching is all about matching the teaching style of a teacher to the learning styles of the students. I go to the class as a teacher with one teaching style. I have a particular style of teaching, I stick to it. But there are 60 students and 80 students and 100 students in the class. Each student has a different learning style. You must have seen in your career, a certain set of students like a particular professor, other students don't like him. They like another teacher. Why is that? Sitting in the same class, students have preferences for different teachers because their learning style matches their teaching style. I went to a college and the principal hurried me through and said, come to the window quickly. I went to the window. He said, look at that man. What is the problem with the man? He is a professor, no? Professor in the college. What is the problem? Look at his dress. He can't speak one sentence English properly and is a professor here. I told him, sir, don't feel bad. Go and find out from the college. This man has at least 10 followers in the college because their learning style matches his teaching style. All of us have that. How do you match it? As a responsible husband, I have done something sensible. Whenever I go to purchase sari for my wife, I'll never go for the matching blouse for it. It's a difficult task. Initially, as a science student, there are 7 colors, I thought. I found infinite colors. When you say red, there are so many reds, so many blues, so many greens. Terrible. If it is matching of a material like sari and blouse piece is so complicated, how do you match the teaching style and the learning style of a teacher? Very simple fact in that. However much the number of students may be in the class, 40 or 400, students have 4 learning styles. Very interesting. Many people ask me, yes, I have a learning style, but there are 100 students in the class. How do I match with each one of them? Is it possible? It is possible. Maybe 100 students, all of them fall into 4 categories. It's called VARK, V-A-R-K. Some students learn the visual way. They watch and learn. You have seen in the class is so boring. Suddenly you make a projection there, everybody is excited about it. Or take a teaching aid in the class and show, people are excited about it. There are students who learn through watching, they are called visual learners. And there are some auditory learners. Some teachers have faced that in the class. They are teaching in the class, the boy is not looking at the teacher, he is looking down doing something else. Teacher feels that he is not interested in the class. Ask him a question, he will answer correctly. That means he was not looking at you, but he was listening to you. His brain is listening. Some students see and learn, some students listen and learn, some students are standard, read and write. They are good students, defined good students. Like, they don't write cinema stars and cricketers naming the last page. And they put nice covers for the books. They go for a reference book and come and ask you what is the best book, sir. They are happy with reading and writing. The last category is the most difficult category. K, Kinaesthetic. They are not interested in anything. They sit in the last bench normally. And suddenly they elbow somebody else and drop a water bottle and create a scene, cough unnecessarily, distract the attention of the teacher because they are not comfortable sitting in the class. I always tell the teachers, make a small exercise in the class. Go to the class and purposely forget something in the class. Go into the class and say, oh my God, I forgot this. Can somebody go and bring it to the staff room? 10 students will raise their hand, will go and do it, sir. Because they are more happy outside the classroom rather than inside the classroom. And supposing tomorrow there is a convention here, we have got a mela, we are going on a procession, they are ready. They are the people who are kinesthetic, they want to do with their own hands. I give a small trick to them. Take a teaching aid to the class. Normally we have a wrong impression among professors of higher education. Teaching aid is only for school children. Absolutely wrong. Even at higher education, teaching aids are most useful. You can try an experiment. Take a teaching aid, useless teaching aid. Keep it on the table and don't use it. See the fun. By the time you finish the class, somebody will definitely ask you, sir, you brought something you did not show? Even unused teaching aid becomes a matter of curiosity. So pass this teaching aid to all of them, let them go and feel it. Some students don't even touch it. Send it, no problem. Somebody will look at it and send it. But some students will not pass it on at all. Wait a minute, I'm watching it. Wait a minute, I'm watching it. The reason is that they are more excited in handling. They are basically involved in hand skills. How do I engage all my students in the class? This is more important. All 4 are sitting in my class. There's a visual learner, auditory learner, read-write learner, and also kinesthetic learner. How do I match all of them? Beautiful. There is a way of doing it. This is called as creative teaching model. I give an idea, simple idea to it. I have created a kind of model. Creative teaching is like a mother teaching the child to walk. This image anybody can get it. Child is 12 months or 13 months, child starts walking. Mother wants to teach the child walking. There are 3 steps involved in it. 3 steps. First, what mother does is, she bends down and holds the hand of the child. Am I right? She is bending down. To what level? Not to a level that is comfortable for her. Bending is not comfortable for her. She bends down to a level that is comfortable for the child. A second one, she is holding the hand of the child. How will she hold it? Very tight? No, it hurts the child. Very loose? No, hand falls off. Because child is not holding her, she is holding the child. So she holds the hand with appropriate pressure, not too tight and not too loose. Second one. And third and most important, at what pace she walks. Sometimes the child runs. The mother also runs behind the child. Sometimes the child stops. She also stops. That means she adjusts her pace to suit to the learning pace of the child. Don't you think all 3 are child-centric? One is coming down to the level of the child, most important. Apply it to education now. I go to my class with a PhD and have so many publications to my credit. I go to the class, you are knowledgeable. But when I go and teach in the class, I should be sensible and understandable to the students in the class. Many times they say, Professor is so good now, extraordinary, but I don't understand anything. The reason it just goes overhead. I am not here to show my scholarship. How much you know is not important. How much you are able to communicate to the student is more important. I should come down to the level of the student. And second, I should also add a word of caution here. The word of caution here is, sometimes we have to go up to the level of the students also. Students are more updated than us. We have a silver jubilee notes with us. You know silver jubilee notes? The first year when I started teaching, I prepared my notes, reading all beautiful books. Second year is easy for me. 10th year, I know the notes by heart. And I do it. And in fact, in the class, teacher saw the student not writing down the notes. He said, stand up. Why are you writing down the notes? He said, sir, I have the notes with me. Who gave you the notes? Sir, my father was also your student. Nothing has changed. Same notes. And now tell me, why should the student attend the class? He already has it, everything. And the same method of teaching, same repetition, it becomes terribly boring. So what should be done now? Very simple. First one is, I should come down to the level of the student. First step. Second one is holding the hand of the student. I told you not very tight and not very loose. It is about classroom management. There are different kinds of teachers in the college. Some teachers are so disciplined, even Hitler could be proud of them. They don't allow the student to turn the head this way and this way. Look here, look here, look here. Why look here? I said, why are you shouting, man? They're captive audience. They can't look anywhere else other than you. Only when it is impossible to see you, they look outside. Is it not right? Why do you say keep on looking? Do you think any time Jadugar, any PC Sarkar or anybody has ever shouted, look here, look here? No. Because you are bound to look at it because so it's exciting. So therefore it is my job to hold the attention of the students in my class. It's my job. So therefore, second one is very tight, rigid professor will not allow them to turn this way and that way. Another set of teachers, class is the city market. Everybody is shouting. That is also bad. The class should be flexible enough for learning to happen and not too flexible to be chaotic. You should manage that through activities. And third and most important step is at what pace you teach. It happens to us. We are human beings as teachers. We like certain topics very much. My favorite topic, I explain. My face blooms. Give example after example. Describe it so detailed. But the next chapter I am not comfortable. Zing, I pass through that. This is very, very terrible. In fact, when I spent my time in Oxford, there was a professor who told me, in like traveling in a city bus, there's something called a standing seat. I've always called, why it is called seat? You are only standing there. It's actually hanging seat. You are holding this and standing in the bus, and there's a chivalrous driver who puts accelerator and brake. You go on shaking like this. By the time you go back home, you'll have backache. And that professor of Oxford told me, if that change of rate of movement is so frequent, you get headache in the bus, back pain in the bus, and also headache in the classroom. The reason is that I should, whether I like the topic or not, I should put equal emphasis on each topic and teach. 3 points are there. How do I do it in the class? I should have some physical activity in the class, something to see, something to feel, something to touch, something to experience. This brings me to an important part and the crucial part of the whole creative teaching is, can you make teaching experiential? It's so easy to say, make teaching experiential. How do you do that? I'll give a concrete example. I was the principal of an institution where children from 15 different countries, and I made a big declaration without understanding the gravity of what I'm saying. You can ask any question, no problem. It's a fully residential campus. I was there as the principal. One Sunday morning, 3 boys came. 3 boys, basically Americans, but Indians settled in America for 3-4 generations. They came to me, sir, we have a question, sir. Shoot. The boy said, sir, I want to know how ant sleeps, sir. How ant sleeps. I did not know how I slept. How do I know how ant sleeps? It never even occurred to me as to how ant sleeps. Since I did not know, teachers have an advantage. If I don't know, I'll do the project work. I telephoned to my kitchen manager and told him, very easy to do. I told him, get me a pearl pet bottle with 3 ants in that and some sugar crystals and perforations on the cap. Within 10 minutes it came. I gave it to these boys and said, you find out. I don't know how ant sleeps, discover. They carried it like a Wimbledon trophy to the hostel. Afternoon lunch or lunch, I went to the hostel. It was a sight to see. There's a round table in the center and all 3 are sitting and watching the pearl pet bottle. I said, any good news? No, sir, we're still searching, sir. I looked into the bottle. I was shocked. I had given them 3 black ants, no? I find now there's a red ant and a green ant and a black ant. I said, what happened, man? The boy said, sir, you gave all 3 black, sir. We did not know which one you were watching, sir. So we took them to the art room, painted 1 green and 1 red, sir. Now we are watching only the black one, sir. I said, good luck, carry on, please carry on. At 6 o'clock, they came to my house with the bottle in the hand, smiling from ear to ear. I said, what happened? Sir, we know how ant sleeps, sir. How? It runs around so much, sir. After some time, it lifts its 2 front legs like this, keeps its head like this, and sleeps for about 10 seconds. I said, you fellow, how can 10 seconds be enough, man? He laughed loudly, gave a big belly laugh and said, sir, we are so big, sir, we want 6-8 hours, sir. Ant is so small, sir. Is enough. Still, I did not know the right answer or the wrong answer. Then I telephoned to my friend in the agriculture university. He was an entomologist. They live with insects only. I asked him, this is what the boys say, is it true? He said, how? That's how it sleeps. That's how it sleeps, runs around for some time, lifts the two front legs and keeps his head like this. 15 seconds is enough. Every hour it takes rest. Sensible level. Takes rest every 1 hour. And then I said, okay. I just wondered later on. Believe me, if I had known this answer before, I told them this is how the ant sleeps, it would have gone to the information base. Since they discovered it themselves, it goes to the knowledge base. This is the beauty of it. Beauty of learning is that there is a beautiful proverb about education. It says, I hear, I forget. I see, I remember. I do, I understand. Only when you do. I can tell you, these boys and girls involved in TED show talks, they will never forget this in the class, in their life throughout. They may find the second order differential equation they learned in the class. They may forget it, but they will not forget this TED show experience. Because you did it yourself. All the activities you did yourself, you organize it yourself, you become part of your life. Can we do this kind of thing? Experiential learning. I've had many people ask me, you are taught in the West, you are taught in the East, what is the difference? I have only one statement to say. Here in our country, we teach, there they learn. There's a difference. We teach here and they learn. We insist that the children should learn. I should make it learning an experience for themselves. They should say, wonderful. I close my talk with a small experience. This will be very relevant to this. The pre-university board of Karnataka. Once the commissioner asked me, sir, you should do some session for our top 20 of CET examinations. Top 20. I said, why do you want to do that? They have already chosen the career. No, sir, some career counseling you should do. I went to the hall and I found 20 students there, of which 12 were girls and 8 boys. And I was shocked. All of them had got 100 out of 100 in PCMB. They had forgotten their parents' name. They remembered only PCMB. And then they got 100 out of 100. I said, fine. But still I noted down the names of each one of them and told them, did some exercise. We'll come back in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. They came back. Then I did one funny thing. I had asked them what is your favorite subject also for each one of them. I gave them the same question paper they had answered 2 months before and got 100% marks. Yeah, the same question paper. None of them got more than 55% marks. I was surprised. I said, why? You got 100, no? What is the problem now? They said, 2 months ago, sir, we forgot. We forgot. Then I asked them, have you seen Sholay movie? All said, yes, we have seen. If I show a clip of this, can you make out? So what make out, sir? We'll tell you what happens next also. Then I said, you saw the movie for 3 hours, 5 years ago, and you remember it. And you studied physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology for 2 years, for which I answered just 2 months ago, and you forgot about it. Why is that? One simple thing we should remember in creative education is this. Anything that goes to the brain goes to a short-term memory. Anything goes to the heart goes to a long-term memory. If it goes only to the brain, it's no use. This is a part of psychology. It's a part of psychology. When I'm reading, I say, this is important, most likely question. It's likely to come in the examination. You're also telling your mind, after the exam, I don't need it. After the exam, I don't need it. It's shift and delete. It's removed after some time. You don't remember. But the cinema you saw, you enjoyed it. It went to the heart. Therefore, creative teaching is all about taking the